Okay. All right. So we're going to do, we'll do the you do it. Starting on page 370, because that's one of your assignments. So we'll just do that one together. So right here, or 371, repair name. Get used to using string methods, and this will kind of get us into the mode, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use a swing class for this one. Okay, import. I don't know about yours, but my Baygrass is going slow. Import the Java X dot swing dot star. So we want all the different parts of the swing library to use. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to create a class called repair name. Like that. Open curly. Close curly. Okay. Very simple class. We'll set that up like that. Repair name. I'm going to save it because I'm paranoid. And I'll save it as repair name, which it came up as. And I'm probably going to overwrite something. Yep, I don't care. I'll save it again. Okay. So now I've got it saved. I've got it there. Okay. And we're going to do our usual thing of creating our public static void main. String, args, open curly, close curly. Okay. All right, so we've got the main, we've got a repair, we've got that. I'm going to save it again just so I have it. Everything should be good. Now we're going to create some variables. Okay, we're going to create a string. And this will be called name, and then save original name, like so. All right. I'm also recording this. Okay, and I'm going to have an integer. The int is going to be what? They want string length. I don't know why they have to name it so long. Do that. Another int is a C or I. A char, which is a C. Char stands for character. Some people say char. Some people say char. I say char. I don't know. That's just me. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get something from the user. I'm going to get input from the user. So I'm going to say name, which I declared up here, right here, it's a string. So name is equal to what? Do you remember using the dialog inputs, J option pane? So J option pane, and we're going to do, oh, not pane, show input dialog. So null, and then we're going to ask, please enter first and last name. I'm just going to say, I'm going to be rude. I'm going to say, enter last name, enter first and last name. I'm not going to say please. Enter first and last name. Quote, like so. Okay, I'll let you catch it again. Once I've got the first and last name, then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the save original name variable here, and I'm going to give it the value of name that I just got. So I'm going to grab the name from the user, and then I'm going to back it up in this variable. So save original name, yes. Yes. So I'm going to back it up so that I have it, so I don't lose it. Okay, that's all I'm doing. So at the moment, I'll have two variables with the same exact information. So John Smith, Mary Sue, Jim Shoe, art room. Okay, stuff like that. All right. We got that. We got that. And then we're gonna get the length of it. String length. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste it. Bless you. Didn't split it. Name.length. And this is so length, again, is a method for the string class. So name is a string. And now in the string class, I have all these options to use stuff. Like I can get the length of the string right there. It just lets me do that. All I have to do is add on this method, and I can get the length of that. So the string class has a lot of different properties that you can use and do stuff with and manipulate. Okay, and one of them is the length. I can get the length of it. Why am I getting the length of it? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it. Okay, So it may sound a little confusing at first, but just stick with me and you'll see what's going on. All right. So now we're going to use a for loop. We're going to use two for loops. Four, well, actually one. Four will have an if-else statement. So we'll do for. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the characters in this name and just see what's going on. This is actually something very common that happens. For equals 0, we're going to set it up as, we're going to initialize it. I is equal to 0, while I is less than what? String length. So you only want it to go as long as we have the string, right? And then we're going to increment. We're going to say I plus plus. Oops, I plus plus. Jeez, can't type. Like so. Okay? Open curly, close curly. Now I've got a lot more stuff I have to type, but I want to open and close them just so I don't forget. So all this is going to do is just go through the string that I just typed in. So if I type in John space Smith, it's going to go space by space by space by space. That's it. Okay. You know, this morning I came in, I had long sleeves on, and it was cold. I had a big jacket, and I come home, and now it's like gorgeous out. It's like 65. It's insane. So I love it. Anyway, C equals. C is a character right there. There's a character, all right. C is a character. C is equal to, and we're going to grab the first piece of it. So it's name. Again, I have the name, I have the string, and it's a method I'm going to use. What am I going to use? Char at. And a position. So what the heck does that even mean? What it means is, in this little, in C, which is a character, which is one character, it's going to grab the character at the location, or I. So we start off, it'll be location 0, then location 1, then location 2. So let's do this. So just so you understand what's going on, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a comment in here. And I'll say like John Smith, like this, okay? It's John space Smith. So what it's going to do is it's going to first get the J. And then it'll get the O. And then it'll get the H. And then it'll get the N. Hopefully that makes sense. And then it will grab the space. It says, oh, you had a space. Now that's, okay, that's the first name. We're done. Then it's going to go on and say, okay, do this, Smith, okay? So it's going to grab that. All right. It's going to put an if in here. It's going to say if I is equal to 0, meaning, is it the first character that you grabbed? Did you grab it the first time? If you did, we're going to do something different. So open and close that. All right. So all it's going to do is say, hey, did you grab the first character? If I did, then what we're going to do is we're going to uppercase it. So C is going to equal what? Character to upper case. Kind of crazy, huh? So C equals that. So all it's going to do is take whatever it is. So the idea is you can enter anything in. You can enter a lowercase j. I can do whatever I want. And we're going to do that, and we'll test it when we go through this. Once we get through this process, you can enter whatever you want, and it's going to grab that first character. And what is it going to do? It's going to make it uppercase. It's going to make it do it like that. Okay. And then once you've got the uppercase letter, you're going to put it back in the string. You're going to rebuild the name. So now name. So name is equal to this right now. I'm going to put this up here so you can see. So name is equal to John Smith, right? So now name is going to equal what? C. What is C? C starts off first character. So first character, I'm doing comments. C is equal to what? Is equal to J, lowercase j. That's what C is. After you do this line here to uppercase, what is C now? C is equal to uppercase j. That's what's going on. All right. Is this helpful for me to do these little details? I know it's tedious, but does it help to do this? Because I don't want to gloss over anything. Then this is a little tricky. Stick with me. So then name is equal to C plus, I'm going to append. So now I've got the J, and I'm going to append the rest of the string, J, and I'm going to append the rest of this at the top. Let me pause this for a second. So depending on the rest of the string there is, we're going to do name dot substring. And you're like, substring, what the heck is that? Bear with me here 1 second. One, and then it's going to be string length. Okay. We'll do a string length there, and then close that. There we go. And I'll explain that as well. I'm just going to compile it. Okay. So I don't have any syntax errors. It's not going to work yet, but I don't have any syntax errors. If you want to see what's going on, let's do this. I'll tell you what. We can do this. I like to do this. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do system.out.println, and I'm going to print out my name. I'm going to print out the name. Name is equal to quote plus name. And then I can see along the way what's going on. And I apologize, I should have probably done that before. We're going to have the dialog show up. We're going to ask the user for a name, and they're going to give us a name. And then I'm going to spit it out to make sure I have what they said I have. You want to hear record this too. Then you know what's going on. C is equal to what? C. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to print this out. And it'll do it for each one if you want. So if you're never sure about what's going on, you can just do, you should look at a lot of my old code. It's got print lanes, print statements all over the place. Name is equal to quote plus name. Okay. All right, let's just see if this works. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that. Let me rebuild it. Do that. I think we'll be lucky we get through this one today. And then let's run it. I clear it, and I will run it. Okay, so it's going to ask me for my first and last name. Fine. So I'll enter Joe Schmo. Oh, no, I'll do John Smith. I'll stay. Yeah. Doesn't matter. You can enter anything. I'm just using John Smith as an example, obviously. So I'll do John space Smith. I'll do OK. And look what it did. So it grabbed the first one. C is equal to J. It did that. Let me redo this. I'm going to rerun it. And I'm going to put it all lowercase. So I'm going to do John space Smith, all lowercase. Okay. So it grabbed this. Now the C, it automatically made it uppercase right there. So I know this is at least working one step. It's doing what I'm asking it to do. It's grabbing the name, which is all lowercase. Yes. Okay, you have errors? Okay, no problem. I'll record this also. So I am recording this again, so it'll hopefully. So the for loop is the whole thing. Okay, so the for loop does everything. But then the if statement, so every time you're in the for loop, you loop, it grabs a character right there. That's what that's going on there. It's grabbing a character, okay? This if statement, all this if statement does is it says, hey, is this the first one? Once you get the first one, it says, okay, fine. After that, it's going to do other stuff. So then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to do an else, okay? And the book has it. They've got the if statement set up. When you open it up, otherwise you're going to do an else like this, okay? And then they have you enter after that, and I tab over, and then they're going to check to see if there's a space there, which means that would be between the space between the first name and the last name. If what? If name dot, guess what? Charet, capital A, lowercase t, charet I. It's using I again because it's going through that loop and using I in that loop. It's going to check that. So if that is what? If name of charet is what? Equal to, so double equals, single quote, space, single quote. It's going to check for a space, okay? Open curly, close curly. Excuse me. I got tickle. So the if statement. So this is if it's the first one, else if it's not, if it's everything else, which it will be, you'll get the first character, it does that, everything else after that, it's going to do this section piece right here. But then the first thing it does is it checks and says, is there a space? So did I go through all my letters? Go through all your letters, you hit that space. Once I hit the space, then what are you going to do? Then what I want you to do is increment plus plus I. You're going to increment that up. C is equal to name. Geez. Name.char is a charet. Yep. I. So it's going to grab that character in C. And then you're gonna do what? You're gonna make it uppercase again. So you're kind of doing stuff, you're doing this stuff twice here. So you can actually just copy this whole line up here. That whole line up there, copy it, Control C. I'm gonna just paste it right there. I can do that. So I just copied that line there. Okay. I copied that line there, uppercase, and now what I'm gonna do is I gotta put it back on the name, and I'm gonna do the same thing here. In this case, it's gonna do name, there's a little bit more to it though, so I'll have to type it out. So name is equal to what? Name.substring, because we got more to do. 0, comma, I, plus C, plus name.substring, and I'll show you what it's doing so you can understand. We'll break it down. It's really not that difficult. Once you see it, be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I plus 1, comma substring, string length, sorry, like so. Okay. And after this, we'll have one more line to do. Java Paint original name is equal to that plus. We're going to do a /n, which does a carriage return line feed. So you'll have it on 2 lines. So at least it'll look nice in the pop-up. And then you're just going to say repaired name. You know what I'll do? I'm going to hit enter after this plus sign so it comes down below. So you can see it all on one screen. Repaired name is equal. Repaired name equals quote plus name. Like so. I'll let you keep doing that, work on that. I'm going to compile it just to see if it compiles. Hopefully I did. Okay, good. So I'll do like that. And then clear it and I'll run it. Okay, we'll work on them. So I'll do John Smith again. Mary Smith. How about Mary Smith? Lowercase. Okay. And it should tell you, it just capitalizes it. Again, I know not very exciting, but again, the idea is behind manipulation of strings.